What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another Tottenham update. We're doing it live this time, and we've got a very special guest to bring to you on today. We've got Romeo Agresti. He is a Juventus correspondent who works with DAZN and Goal, so he's got very great insight into the Juventus, into Fabio Paratici. But just before we get him on, we're just going to run through the order of what we got today. We've got some big news. We've got some news coming out of The Athletic today, talking about Joachim Andersen, Tottenham and Arsenal being in pole position, and also Wout Weghorst as well, looking like that Tottenham and Newcastle have started preliminary discussions to bring him into the club.
Yeah, well, and exactly. We're looking forward to that. And we got many other things to discuss as well. But before that, do you want to run through the event? So we're running over the Euros.
Yes, exactly. So we've got some really exciting events to bring you over the Euros. We're going to be doing live screenings for every single England game. If you want to come down, the link is in description below for all three group stage games for the Euros. The first one obviously being on Sunday, and then that followed on by Friday night with the Scotland game, and then the following Tuesday for the Czech Republic game. So if you want to come and down, watch the game with us, be involved in the live watch along, and I want to hear your opinions after the game as well with fan interviews. If you want to get involved, have a beer with us, and just the general.
You get a free beer with the ticket exactly. as well. So what's not to like?
It's just the general good day out will be with the England fans, the We Are Tottenham TV, and if any of you came down to the Man City game watch along as well, will be very similar to those events. So come down, it's going to be a great laugh, and link is in description below.
All right, so yeah, I'm excited for the Euros. I'm excited for everything to kick off, and I can't wait to get the watch-alongs going and get to meet people who are coming down. It's going to be good fun. So, yeah, but before we get into the main stories, we got Romeo Agresti coming on, so I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say. We're going to be discussing things like Fabio Paratici, Antonio Conte, and a few other things as well. We did also ask you for your questions on Twitter, so I will put some of them to him as well and see if he's got anything to say about a lot of your questions. So without further ado, should we get Romeo on?
Yeah, and if you want to send Romeo a question, do send it in a super chat, and we'll get that question straight away to Romeo Agresti. But without further ado, let's get Romeo on. How's it going,
Ciao,
my friend?
boys. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, mate? Thanks for coming
I'm good,
on.
guys. I'm good, guys. Sorry for my bad English, but I'm taking private lessons, and I think that Fabio Paratici will do the same in the coming weeks. So we are in the same level, but thanks for your invite.
No, our pleasure, our pleasure. Obviously, we know Fabio Paratici is set to be appointed as Spurs sporting director in the coming days. The move is imminent. I want to know from your side, he was at Juventus for a very long time and supposedly done an amazing job there. What kind of impact did he have on Juventus Football Club during his time there?
Unbelievable, guys, because, I had the opportunity to start working in this business, and that was my first experience, but also for him at Juventus, because he spent 11 years at Juventus and he won 19 trophies. So that means a lot for him, but especially for Juve. Guys, believe me, I think that Fabio Paratici is the best, not one of the best, but the best sporting director in the world. Because the best, absolutely. In terms of scouting, in terms of selection of the players, for me Fabio is the best, and it's a big loss for Juventus, but it's an unbelievable signing for Spurs, for Tottenham, and I know very well that he's ready to do his best for Tottenham. In the coming days he will fly to London to sign the contract. Is full of energy for his next experience, and guys, believe me, he's an unbelievable signing for you.
That is really great to hear, Romeo, and obviously a lot of Tottenham fans are very excited by his potential or imminent appointment at the moment. And as you say, he is the best. But why is he leaving Juventus? Why has it just come to an end? Is it an actual end after being at a club for so many years? Are you looking for a new challenge? Why has he ended up?
Mate, that's simple. An end of an era. after spending 11 years in a club, maybe you feel it's time to leave. It's time to live an experience abroad. It's time to know a new culture, a new language, a new idea of football. And I can tell you that in that period, when he was sporting director at Juventus, he had a lot of bid, a lot from Barcelona, from Paris Saint-Germain, from Man United, Tottenham, because Tottenham were interested in signing Paratici already 3 years ago. So he knows very well your owner. He knows very well the word Spurs. And if he said yes to Tottenham, is because he knows that there he can do very well. And according to my sources, Tottenham were his first choice. And also for that, he accepted the bid.
Mm. And obviously, it was linked that he was going to come along with Antonio Conte as well, which obviously those talks obviously broke down last week on Friday night. In terms of Fabio Paratici's managerial list, there's rumours he's going to be now drawing up a managerial list and looking heading the recruitment on that side. Do you have any inkling, or do you have if you are trying to get in Fabio Paratici's head, do you have any inkling what kind of manager he's going to be going for? Who's going to be looking at? Maybe a manager outside the box in Italy. Maybe who are you thinking?
First of all, I have to say that I think that Fabio will decide the next Spurs coach. And this is the most important thing, because it will be an easy decision. Of course, Antonio Conte was his first choice because they had the opportunity to work together for 3 years at Juventus. They won 3 titles in a row. They are they are friends. And at the beginning of the talks, Antonio was very attracted to Spurs offer. But after spending 2 years at Inter, maybe for him it's better to take a break. And he said no to Tottenham at the end of the story. But I'm sure that the next coach at Tottenham will be by Paratici decision. I don't know who could be possible, to be honest, but 100% he will take his first decision.
And there's also he's been famed for his free transfers. Paratici, for his time at Juventus, he's been getting a lot of free transfers during his time. Obviously, in recent times, maybe likes of Ramsey and Emre Can on very, very big wages, who maybe haven't been that good. But do you see him going for a similar approach at Tottenham, or do you think he'll be looking at maybe younger players in Europe who are up and coming?
That's not sure, because I think that Tottenham are a rich club, so we have the opportunity to spend the money. At Juventus,
you wouldn't know by how much we spend.
A little bit, because as I told you, I called him Fabio Free Transfer Paratici, because he brought in Turin Dani Alves, Pogba, Pirlo, Ramsey, Emre Can. Unbelievable, guys. I think that he has clear ideas. He knows very well what he has to do. He's a serial winner, guys. He won 9 titles in a row. He's the best. He's the best. And for me, for you guys, it's unbelievable signing. Believe me. And you will understand that, of course, during the coming weeks, during the coming month, he will sign a 3 years contract. And in that period, of course, his first target is to win something with Tottenham, because he's a serial winner. He won at Juventus and he wants to continue to win in the Premier League. No doubt about that.
Amazing. And that obviously gets a lot of Spurs fans very excited hearing that and hearing about his ambition. But one of the big failings of a lot of maybe previous sporting directors at Tottenham, and managers even, is falling out with the chairman, Daniel Levy, and having to work within his constraints. Obviously, with Paratici having agreed to join Tottenham, he must have known with these constraints with Daniel Levy. But do you think they'll work well together, in your opinion? What's the sense you get?
The point is very clear, because he will be the director of football. Then he will have huge power. He will decide the roster. He will decide the coach. He will decide the man that will work with him. So of course, I think that with the owner, you must respect his decision. But Paratici is a top player. He's a very top player, and of course, I think that we have the full control of the area sport. No doubt about that, because that's Fabio Paratici.
And do you think when you heard about the whole Antonio Conte thing, obviously he was at Juventus for a while, and then obviously won Serie A last season with Inter Milan before deciding to leave. Were you surprised? First of all, were you surprised that Tottenham were even in for him, and then how quickly talks broke down after looking like they were progressing quite positively? Well, did that whole deal surprise you last week?
No, guy, because I had the opportunity to work when Paratici was here in Turin at Juventus, but I know very well Antonio Conte as well. And I know very well that he likes a lot to live in London because he had an unbelievable experience at Chelsea. So he likes to come back there. But there were some issues in terms of member of his staff. He wants more money. He asked to keep, for example, Harry Kane. So it was impossible to find an agreement quickly. And then also for this reason, I think that he prefers to stay 1 year without working, to recharge the battery, to stay close to his family. But the most important thing, it's, believe me, guys, that Fabio Paratici is there. I'm so excited for you because I first of all, this season I will support Spurs. So, and then I'm sure that Fabio will do an amazing job because he's the best.
Wow, that's exciting.
Romeo, we've got some questions from Twitter. Some Twitter followers have asked you some questions, so I'm going to get through them. The first one is, what is Paratici like as a person? Is he fiery and assertive, and is he likely to clash with Daniel Levy?
So, guys, I don't know Daniel Levy. I don't know how he works, but I'm sure that Paratici will do his job without problem, because when you see Fabio works every day, you know very well that he has a huge passion. He knows what he has to do. And, guys, I repeat, he's a serial winner. Levy, no. No. He must believe in Paratici's abilities to improve the club, to improve his mentality, to improve the mentality of the fans. Fabio is the perfect one for this work.
And moving on, this is from Timmy Langen, and he says, is Dybala a realistic target for Tottenham, or is it most likely just another rumour that will stay a rumour?
No, he was very close to joining Tottenham 2 years ago, because he had the opportunity to sign for you when there was Maurizio Pochettino the coach. They had a very good relationship, but I think that Dybala will stay at Juventus because Massimiliano Allegri wants to keep him, so no talks with Spurs.
There's a few other ones. So there was a question, I'm trying to find the question now, but he's talking about, here we are, from Antonio Agrosa. He says, could Spurs be potentially interested in Rugani, DeCilio, Aaron Ramsey, or Bernardeschi? Any chance of any of these players potentially being of interest? And would they be available? And would they be good signings?
Yeah, but they are not good players, and Fabio wants just top players. Maybe Juventus and Tottenham will open some negotiation in the future. I'm not sure during this transfer window because, now Paratici is just arriving in London, so it's not. He's a gentleman, Fabio. But in the future, never say never, because he has a very good relationship with everyone here. So, but I don't think that names are in Spurs radar.
Yeah, fair enough. Another question here from Dara says, I've heard all these good points of his work he's done at Juventus. What are his bad points or scenarios where he might find challenging at Tottenham? What do you think for Paratici? Does he have any flaws maybe in his what he does?
That's a very good question.
Maybe 80 million for Higuain. That might be one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true. But we don't forget that Juventus with Higuain have played a UEFA Champions League final against Real Madrid, and he was brilliant in that year. Yeah, maybe Ramsey that is always injured. He doesn't play, so he hurts a lot, and it's now difficult to find a club for him. But guys, if I speak about Carlos Tevez, Andrea Barzagli, Leonardo Bonucci, if I speak about Paul Pogba, that he brought at Juventus as a free agent, then he sell him for 90 million euros. So guys, Fabio, I told you, he's the top.
Yeah, but you know, there's one thing trying to convince these players to join Juventus, where they're most likely to win a trophy or two every year. You know, I think it was 7 or 8 years in a row they won the Serie A title. There's another thing convincing them to join Tottenham. Do you think that his pool will still be that big at Tottenham as it was at Juventus?
Good point, because of course it's more difficult to win at Tottenham than Juventus. But if we speak about Tottenham, we speak about a club with a huge tradition, huge story, unbelievable facilities. Because I remember that I went to your training center before Tottenham Juventus, the day ahead of Tottenham Juventus in Wembley. And when I went there, I saw unbelievable, amazing. And also for this season, for this reason, Paratici said yes to Tottenham, because now he knows very well that there he can improve step by step, facilities top, good an owner rich, good supporter, good players. So there is the possibility to open a cycle. It's impossible to say that Tottenham will try to win the Premier League during this season. Too early. But maybe in 2 or 3 years, I'm sure, guys. If you sign Paratici because you want to win, stop.
Well, that's what we like to hear. I mean, we're trying to win here at Tottenham.
Paratici, guys, is not Franco Baldini. Paratici is a serial winner. Baldini is a businessman. It's different.
Well, I mean, I guess it all depends what kind of manager he does bring in to kind of work with. Obviously, you've spoken a lot about Antonio Conte. One name that is kind of hot on the lips at the moment is Erik ten Hag of Ajax. Do you reckon that them two could work very well together in terms of bringing glory back to Tottenham?
I will try to discover that, and I will say you in the coming days, because to be honest, I had the opportunity to speak with Paratici in the last days. I text you, good luck for your future in London, and he told me, that's not a done deal, I'm just close, but I know that that's a done deal already. And maybe it could be a good name, but I told you guys that I'm sure that he will decide this coach, because now he will be the king of the area sport at Tottenham. So he will decide, not other guys, no other person. Fabio Paratici will decide what Tottenham will do in terms of coach and roster. Stop. And maybe it could be, because guys, there are not a lot of names available now. It's difficult to find the right coach. But it could be a good name. I will let you know, guys, in the coming days. I will give you an exclusive.
Romeo, I'm very much looking forward to that exclusive. And thank you very much for coming on and giving up your time to come on and give us the lowdown on Fabio Paratici. It's a big pleasure to have you on the channel.
My pleasure, guys. See you in London for a beer before the match.
100%. I'm looking forward to it, my friend. See you soon.
Mate. Thanks a lot. Cheers for coming on.
And that was the great Romeo Agresti. I just want to say thank you very much for coming on and giving us really good insight there.
That was good stuff.
Into Paratici.
The
really
best
good insight.
sporting director in the world, in his opinion. The best, bar none.
I don't think we could have got that kind of insight from any of the English journalists. That's for
definitely
sure.
not.
So.
He knows very well what Paratici's good at, and he has a very, very high opinion of him. And that's exciting. I think I'm getting more excited now listening to him, what he's got to say. So that's really, really good. That's really, really positive. And let us know what you think of what Romeo had to say on Paratici. because I'm excited now.
Yeah, we're all excited. Everyone's getting excited for Fabio Paratici
He
now.
said it doesn't matter about Conte. You got Paratici. That's the main thing. That's the number one.
That's mad.
That's what he said.
That's mad. Although I was saying at the time when we were linked with both of them, I was saying that's the one I was most excited for because it means that Daniel Levy will be taking a step back if we do bring in someone like that.
Yeah, that's supposedly.
So that was the most exciting thing for me. But let's get through a few of these super chats. SR says, "How are you boys? Big up yourselves. We're good, thank you. I hope you're doing well as well."
Will Stewart had a super chat. Where is that?
I'm just Will Stewart here saying, "Big up, lads. Big up yourself, Will Stewart." He says, "Good morning and thanks for your support. Oh, and watch out for some troll names. BJ. We will be watching out for the trolls." Faisal Al-Wahaj has sent us a super chat with no comments. So thank you very much for the support for the channel. It does mean a lot to us. And that is it.
All right. That's good stuff.
But just to recap, Romeo, we just had Romeo Agresti on, who is a Juventus correspondent for Goal and DAZN. So, I mean, he gave us some unbelievable insight into Fabio Paratici, the new Spurs sporting director. Well, I say Spurs sporting director, but he's called the general manager, isn't he?
I don't know what he is. Yeah, he's going to be running the sports side. That's the main thing. And he said this guy is not Franco Baldini. He's much different to Franco Baldini. So that's a really good thing to hear because Baldini didn't exactly pan out well, did he?
No.
At Spurs.
Let's hope he's different to Damien Comoli as well.
Definitely, absolutely.
But look, we've got some more news to get through. Let's start off with The Athletic. And they say Tottenham and Newcastle have made preliminary advances for Wolfsburg striker Wout Weghorst. I mean, he's one that we were looking at last summer. And since then, he's had an astonishing season out there for Wolfsburg this year. Bucket load of goals in the Bundesliga this year, and they finished third, I think, in the Bundesliga.
They finished. Was it third? They finished quite. I don't know if it was third.
Third or fourth, one of the two.
I think it was in the top four.
So they finished third or fourth, and I think, look, they had a really good season, and he was a big part of that. And I think when we saw him last season, where did they finish? Fourth. Yeah, Dortmund just pipped it, didn't they? So when we were looking at him last season, we both said, I think, at the time that he would be a good signing for us. And I think that was confirmed with the season he's had. So when you're talking about us and Newcastle in for him, maybe it could be a goer.
Yeah, and I think he's a striker with real pedigree at the moment. Last 3 years, he's been in serious form. He's now getting international recognition going to the Euros of Holland because he hasn't really been involved in the national team up until... He's a bit of a late bloomer, Weghorst. He hasn't really been involved in the national team until the past couple of years, really. And now he's going to the Euros, so he's starting to get proper recognition from an international point of view. And to be scoring goals consistently in the Bundesliga is impressive.
And he scored for Holland a couple of days ago as well.
Yeah, so he's one who's also a big unit. He's like basically, he's like a young Llorente when Llorente was in his prime.
I knew you had to bring in Llorente in the conversation.
Of course. That's who he reminds me of. He reminds me of someone like Llorente, but
he's tall. He's tall. He wins a lot of balls in the air. Yeah. And he knows where the back of the net is.
He does. He scores plenty of goals. He's always going to be a goal threat. So for me, if he was what a striker would be, look. Let's not get it twisted. He wouldn't be a replacement for Kane because he's not.
Nobody would be though.
He's not a striker he's not like a complete fool like Harry Kane does. He couldn't drop in and do what Kane does in terms of link-up play, and he's not a striker who's going to be a massive threat from outside the box. But he's good. He's very good at what he's good at, and what he's good at is being a target man. And he's one of the most informed target men in Europe at the moment. So he's definitely one I would. As well as an additional striker, if say we sold Harry Kane and Weghorst was one of two we brought in, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. But the other one would need to be much bigger in stature.
And definitely someone a bit more pace or someone who can do more with his all-round game, as opposed to Weghorst, who's just more of a target man, but a very good target man at that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let me know in the comment section below, would you like to see Wout Weghorst at Tottenham? Because I, for one, would definitely like to see him, especially with the season he's had. But let's move on. This is again by The Athletic. They're saying Tottenham are expecting Man City to come in for Harry Kane, but not with a big enough bid to tempt them to sell him. They are confident that Kane is too professional to down tools in order to force a move.
Yeah, and that's the hope. That's what everyone's hoping for, aren't they? That Kane, that City will probably bid like 100 million. We say no, we want 150, and then the deal doesn't get done, and then Kane is like, okay, I'll knuckle down for another year. That's kind of the scenario we're envisaging, and I think we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what Man City are planning, because they could be like, look, we're just going to pay it. If it's 120, 150, whatever you want, we'll pay it. But it's difficult to see them. They've never stumped up like more than 50, 60 million before. So
Yeah.
to double, pretty much over double their record transfer is difficult to envisage, especially in this current market. But I think that's probably what Spurs are expecting. Spurs are expecting City to underbid and have a excuse not to accept the offer.
Yeah. But in terms of what they're saying about Harry Kane is too professional to down tools.
Yeah,
Look, I think
we know that's true. I think.
Look, I think it's true in terms of his mind, and that's where his like kind of mind would be at. Would be like, look, if they don't let me leave, I'm not going to down tools, because he said it himself. He's got long left in his career, and next summer is more likely Tottenham will accept a bid of that 120 mark, something like that. But in terms of downing tools, I think sometimes it happens unintentionally. And I think that can happen with Harry Kane. If he has wanted away for, let's say, 2 years now, and he doesn't get his move this summer, and then we have another bad season next year, halfway through the season or like 3 months into the season when it's not going well, maybe not intentionally down tools, but unintentionally down tools.
Yeah, it will basically matters how next season goes in terms of how competitive we are.
Exactly.
If we do have a poor start to the season and we'll already rule ourselves out of like the title race within a month or two or whatever, then I agree. I think he could subconsciously maybe not be on top of his game, and I think someone like Kane lives for being competitive. He lives for being at the top competing for big things, and when he's not doing that, it's bad for him, and he'll get frustrated, especially when he's made it clear that he's getting frustrated with how competitive Spurs are. So I think that is a possibility, but at the end of the day, if we're not competitive next season, we're going to have bigger problems than not keeping Harry Kane. Because if we're not competitive with Harry Kane, then that's a bigger problem. You know what I mean? Then Harry Kane staying or going. Because clearly, even if he stays, we're still not being competitive. So it's a bigger problem than just Harry Kane if we're not competitive next year.
Yeah. Next one is from The Athletic again, and they say Joachim Andersen. I mean, this Joachim Andersen's rumours just never go away, do they?
It's like going forward like an inch each day.
Not even an inch. It's the same update ever since like last season. But they say Joachim Andersen looks likely to end up at either Tottenham or Arsenal, though there is also interest from Manchester United.
Let's hope we steal a march on Arsenal. I think at the moment we're just only
do you think
just
we're
about,
still
just about more attractive than Arsenal, but it's definitely it's close now. I think you're talking about a year ago or 2 years ago, we're much more attractive than Arsenal, but at the moment,
at least they've got a manager.
Yeah, we don't even look. As long as we, as I said, as long as we do, the longer we go without a manager, the longer all this will carry on, all this uncertainty.
So now it's 51 days, no manager. 51 days, that's a Premier League record. Well, it was a Premier League record at like 40 days, I think it
50
was. 50
days out manager.
You'll never sing that. All right, well, that's that. Mundo Deportivo was saying Tottenham are interested in AC Milan defender Alessio Romagnoli, who has 1 year left in his contract.
He's quite an experienced defender, if I remember rightly.
Isn't he like 32, 33?
Yeah, he's quite experienced, and it's a bit of a weird one with him because he's always been a decent defender, but he's never been like unbelievable world class. He's always been that defender kind of who's filling in whenever they have an injury or whatnot. He always like that defender who does a dependable job whenever he's called upon, but he's never a certain starter whenever he's been at AC Milan or Inter Milan or whoever he's been at. So I'm sure he's one who could do a decent job for us, but he's not one to get me excited if he's signed.
I mean, last season played 22 games in Serie A. So yeah, I mean, unless
that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a dependable defender. He's like, I don't know how to describe it. He's like John O'Shea or something. One of those people who's never going to be a definite starter for you, but he's always going to be a player when called upon could do a job.
He's 26.
Is he?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
He's 26.
Well, that's Romagnoli. I thought he was older than that.
No, 26.
For Inter or AC?
AC.
He played for Inter before, right? So maybe it's the same player I'm thinking of.
Did he play for Inter?
He played for Inter before AC?
No.
No, I'm thinking of someone else then.
He played for Roma.
I'm thinking of someone else.
Milan bought him in 15-16 for 22 million.
I'm thinking of Ranocchia.
Oh, that's who you're thinking of.
Because he played for both, right? That's who I'm thinking. I think you might be thinking of the same one.
Maybe.
Because he's a bit older.
Yeah, maybe. But this guy, all right, so scrap what we've just said.
Yeah.
This guy, he's 26 years old. He's an Italy international. I'm not sure if he has been called up, but he's 26 years of age. His contract ends in 2022. His market value from transfer market is 22 million, whereas 2 years ago it was 45 million.
I see. Okay. Well, definitely one I would consider then. He seems to be like a centre-back in his prime at the moment. So, yeah, why not?
And he's played left-back as well. And he's played mostly left centre-back.
He is Milan captain, says David in the comments.
Oh, is he? At 26?
That's what he says. He's Milan captain. He
That's
lost
pretty
his,
fair.
but he lost his place to Tomori.
Oh. All
Learning
right.
about him every day. Every message we're learning more about him.
Let's go on. Jose Mourinho with an interesting quote yesterday, and he says, "I'm the kind of guy that when I close the door of a club, I move and just wish good to people. But in a funny way, I would say I have 25 and a half titles because it's something that marks my career, which is not to play a final, that I won the right to go there."
And I think, apart from the half, I don't think he has half a trophy, but apart from that, I think he's absolutely spot on. He's spot on. He earned the right to be a manager for that final. Look, there's one thing if he got to the final, he did get to final in December, and the final was in April. So if you'd sack him in January, that's one thing. But to sack him 6 days before the final, I'm sorry, that is just such a lack of class and a lack of sporting integrity to allow a manager to manage a final he's got at. And just when he's about to take the final, you sack him. That was a ridiculous decision. We all know that. And I do feel for Mourinho because he had a chance to cement his legacy of winning a trophy at every club, and we denied him that by sacking him just before the final. And I think it was a very bad thing for the hierarchy to do. It wasn't right. It wasn't the right thing to do. From a sporting way, from a human to human perspective as well, I thought it was completely the wrong thing to do. So it was another blot against Daniel Levy for me for doing that, and I think Mourinho was absolutely right to be a bit bitter about it.
Yeah, I agree. Another super chat here from Essa El Shamari with no comment, just a super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. All the support does mean a lot to us. But have you got anything else?
Well, if you want to send us any updates on Twitter, do tag us out. We are Tottenham TV.
Someone's already quoted the Roman Agresti.
Oh, someone's been following. Oh, nice one on Twitter.
Fabio Paratici is the best sporting director in the world, people.
But tag us out. We are Tottenham TV on Twitter for any comments or opinions or content you want us to react to. And obviously, do send us in your chats as well, and we'll react to anything. In terms of updates, yes, there is. There's that. Apparently, this update about the fine that we're going to be paying. For the
I haven't
Super
seen
League.
that. Haven't seen that. What is that?
Let me try and get it up.
Just while he's getting that up, let me tell you about the events that we are running over the Euros. Every single England game, we are running screenings in Wembley, about 15-minute walk away from the stadium, not far away from North Wembley Station. So if you want to come down, the link is in description below for all 3 group stage games, the Croatia one, Scotland and Czech Republic. I cannot wait for these events. It's going to be a follow-on from our Man City Cup final event that we ran on the day. It was good fun, had by everyone. The beers were flowing, the drinks were flowing. It was great to meet you guys, and it was just a nice event, and the sun will be shining. So come have a beer with us in the sun, and you get a free beer with every ticket purchased. So go down to the link in the description below, click the link and buy the tickets and come and join us.
Yeah, come join us. All right. So we can even bring up the tweet. This broke around 20 minutes ago. So the 6 English clubs who have secretly agreed to play in the European Super League will pay just over 20 million to draw a line under the ensuing row with the Premier League. It goes on to say the 6 to draw a line on the ensuing. Sky News has learned that a figure which equates to around 3.5 million per club will be announced by English top flight football on Wednesday afternoon. So let's click the story. I also read, though, And any of those clubs which signed up to a similar project will be liable to a penalty of more than 20 million and a 30-point Premier League deduction, according to one source, if they were to sign up in the future to any sort of Super League.
Wow.
That's what they have agreed to, apparently. The Premier League imposed fines are comparable to those imposed by UEFA, which announced a package of reintegration measures for 9 clubs who agreed to pull out the Super League during a torrid 48-hour period at the end of April. Including AC Milan, Inter, Atletico, the Big Six agreed to pay a collective 12.9 million to be invested in children's, youth, and grassroots football, with 5% of their revenues from UEFA club competitions being withheld for 1 season. They also agreed to far larger future fines if they breach commitments to UEFA club committees' declaration or signed up to any similar breakaway. So we're paying 3.5 million to the Premier League, and we're paying 12.9 million, which is divided by 9. So basically, we're paying like 4 million for fines. It's not that much, I guess.
I mean, but we're not even paying it, are we? It's coming out of Enix's pocket.
I was in, yeah. They said they'll pay it.
Mm-hmm.
That 4.5 million or whatever it is. So that's pretty much the gist of. It'll be announced later today, but that's the gist of these fines being paid. And do you think it's harsh enough, or do you think got away with it a bit?
Probably got away with one a bit. I think they were talking originally, the fines were looking at like a ban from European tournament and kicking out of the domestic competition and all that kind of stuff. So when you compare it to what we've got, then yeah, it is a bit lenient, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd probably have to agree with that. It's not the fines really. 3.5 million to the Premier League and about 1.5 to the UEFA, so about 5 million.
I thought it would have been more to the UEFA than it would have been to the Premier League.
Yeah, apparently UEFA was only 12.9 million collectively. This one is.
I think
UEFA
are just breathing a sigh of relief, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they all are. Maybe they just want to draw a line under it and just say, look, let's just move on.
But what's happening with like Real Madrid and Barcelona and the teams that are still in it?
They're still in it. Don't know.
So what, is it going to be a Clasico every week or something? Is that what it's going to be?
A Clasico. A season of Clasicos.
Yeah.
38 Clasicos.
Literally. And have you seen what's going on here? Apparently we've acquired a golf course. Tottenham have confirmed Whiteweb's Park Golf Course is now the club's,
so
and it sits closely to Hotspur Way. All details can be found on the Spurs website. So that's a step in Gareth Bale staying at Tottenham.
Bale back at Spurs confirmed.
Yeah, that's it.
He's back at Tottenham. Brilliant. Good, great. I mean, I don't know
apparently,
how to react to that. Should I be happy we got a golf course? I don't know.
And apparently we've also opened up a what was it saying here? A girls and women's. One second. Football academy. So we've got the men's academy, and now we've got a women and girls academy as well. So they're pouring money into the grassroots of women's football.
Yeah, Spurs have made a big push over the past couple of years in women's football.
Well, did you see I don't know if you saw what happened to the women's squad this year. Like literally, like 9 or 10 players got released this summer, and they were all like the starters.
How big is their squad?
It can't be that big. I don't know.
No, I didn't see that, to be honest.
But, you know, I went to a couple of the games the beginning of last season, and literally every player I think I saw play has all been released. It's a weird one.
Lane Levy probably don't want to pay any big wages to any star female players.
Yeah, and the woman that came over from America, she's gone back. She was only here to get fit from her pregnancy.
I see. There's one thing you can't say about Levy. He's sexy. He's going to skimp out on the Tottenham, the male team and the female team. Not going to leave anyone out.
Doesn't skimp out on the stadium or the golf courses or the training centres or the executive boxes.
One thing he can't be accused of is sexism. Paul Beer's review says, Sam Allardyce is still available. Anyone? Well, at this point... Good. Look, we need a manager, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, look, is there any... In terms of manager, who is coming in? We still have no clue what's going on 51 days in.
It's just a joke. It's a farce, really, what's going on with the manager situation. No one knows what's going on. The club don't know. I think we're going to have to wait to appoint Paratici first, and then we'll see. But at the moment, like, I've got no clue.
Well, at the
Who's gonna
moment,
be?
with the odds, it's Ten Hag at the favourite, and then Poch, and then Conte, and then Martinez.
Seems to be a curse that being favourite at the moment. It is a curse. So Ten Hag's
because
definitely
of
not being
the
appointed.
bookie's curse.
Exactly, at the moment. So I can't read too. Everyone who's been favourite has been ruled out within a couple of days usually. So I can't read too much into Ten Hag being favourite at the moment.
Who does your gut tell you we're going to end up with?
I think it's someone we haven't been linked with yet.
You think so? But
Yeah.
who can that be?
Someone from Italy or something. Someone outside the box.
That was that Argentinian manager that's managing. Is it Boca Juniors or one of these clubs that apparently is like really, really highly considered in Europe, and he's apparently going to move to a big club in Europe soon. I don't know if you've heard about him.
Maybe by maybe if I hear his name, I don't know.
Bossman Gaming says Pep's daughter for manager.
Delhi will be happy. Maybe we'll get the best out of Delhi. If I told you we appoint Pep's daughter and Delhi has a mad season, are you doing it?
Is it Miguel Rosso?
I don't know him.
No, it's this guy, Marcelo Gallardo.
Oh, Gallardo. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know Gallardo. Yeah.
A River Plate manager.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
it. River Plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe.
he's been linked with us at some point during this summer, and they're talking about him with mad management skills, and he's looking in the mold of Pochettino as well. And he's another student of Bielsa, I think, and he might be coming over to Europe at some point soon. He was touted as even the Barcelona manager at one stage.
Well, maybe he'll be one.
Would you
to
take
look
him?
I'll take anyone right now who's semi-competent. If he sounds like he's going to be a good look, we're at the moment.
So what the story from Planet Football, the magic of Marcelo Gallardo, loved by Pep, Barcelona links. So why is he still at River Plate?
How long ago did he?
This was written in December 2020.
Don't know.
Apparently Pep loves him though.
Look, at this point, everyone I've wanted in terms of Conte or Poch or whatever, it's all gone up in smoke. So I can't pick and choose at this point. Obviously, I don't want Allardyce, but like anyone who's up and coming and looking to make an impact, we have to take at this point. Honestly,
got a tweet here from Josh Posterweight saying, "Do you think Spurs will hire a new coach before Jose Mourinho gets sacked at Roma?"
Probably not. No. Brian Daigle. Let's look at this Brian Daigle tweet. He says, "So only 2 days before the Euros start, which means only 48 hours until the next Levy lie is found out when we don't have a manager. Like I said, I don't believe a single word that comes out of the club's mouth." Yeah, because apparently didn't Romano say yesterday that Spurs are still looking to appoint on before the Euros? Well, that ain't going to happen.
Did you read this Cody Mack tweet out? Read that one out.
I did a deep dive into Paratici on THFC Rants this morning. He's bought over 1.6 billion in players over 11 years. There are some in Italy who think he's more suited to scouting, and that when the GM left Juve in 2018, it began a downturn we are seeing now. Well, Romeo Agresti says he's the best sporting director in world football, bar none.
Bar none.
But Cody Mack says no. Maybe, I don't know. It is true, he has spent a lot of money on other players. Yeah, yes, he's been the king of the free transfers. On the flip side, he spent 100 million on Ronaldo. He spent 75 million on Higuain. He spent he's like big money on a lot of players.
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo one's understandable.
Yeah, I guess you make that money back on shirt sales.
Yeah, Ronaldo one's completly understandable, and he's been their top goal scorer ever since he's
400k a week for Ramsey.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But is he the one that's responsible for how much money they give the players?
No clue.
Like, we don't know that, do we? So
yeah, I guess. But I think he has spent a lot of money on where was it? Delight 75 million, but obviously he's young, up and coming centre back. Who's this? Christian Romero 23 million. Cancelo 36. Douglas Costa 36. Like Bernadeschi 36 million. Matuidi has a good signing there, 22 million. That's not.
But for every big signing, there's like 3 small signings that worked really well.
Yeah, that's a fair point. He has spent a lot of money, but most of them have been pretty good. And also, You got to remember that there's loads of these signings, for example, like Roberto Pereira, 13 million and stuff like that. But like they're always within a view to just sell them immediately. There's always dodgy deals always going on in Italy. Like I can't keep up with like what.
Daniel, that's probably what Daniel Levy's looked at the most.
Yeah, true. He wants to get involved in these deals, 100%. Wants to start flipping players for over a couple months.
We're basically going to turn into like a marketplace for players. That's what Tottenham are going to be. Alex Brown with the super chat saying, any news on Nuno as Crystal Palace manager? I don't think there has been.
Yeah, there has been news actually.
Oh, has there?
The deal's off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he pulled out apparently today.
Who they're going to go for? Frank Lampard, are they?
No idea who they're going to go for, but all I know is apparently the deal for Nuno and Palace is now off the table.
Maybe that'd be a good fit for Jose Mourinho, Crystal Palace.
Mourinho?
Tight at the back.
No, I don't think so.
And Everton are also looking for a new manager. So how many Premier League teams?
Yeah, Wolves appointed someone
Wolves,
today.
yeah. Wolves, that's done. So you've got Crystal Palace, Tottenham and Everton, right?
Yeah.
Carl Simpson says Nuno will end up at Everton. Maybe that's why he pulled out.
Maybe. I think he should go to Everton. I think that'll be a good appointment.
I think Eddie Howe might be a good appointment for Everton.
Yeah, I agree. I think Eddie Howe could fit well as well. I think people are sleeping on him a bit.
Or he could fit at Palace, to be fair.
Yeah, I guess with their attacking talent they have. Potentially, he's an underrated manager just because he didn't do great in his last year. I think overall he did a fantastic job at Bournemouth. But then again, it's a risk because you don't know how he's going to do at another club because he was so long at Bournemouth. Cause sometimes, as I said, like a manager, for example, like Alan Kirbishley at Charlton, like it's just a manager to fit to a club like a glove, and then when he tries something else, it just doesn't feel the same. Can't quite replicate it.
Yeah. Although they went down with Alan Kirbishley, didn't they?
No. They went after he left. They went down. I think.
Well, that year when Berbatov sent them down, wasn't Kirbishley their manager?
No, he wasn't.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure Alan Pardew was their manager.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Yeah, because Kirbishley was manager of West Ham when they stayed up that on the last day.
With Tevez and...
remember that when Stolteri scored, that was Kirbishley was manager.
Yeah. Was that the same season?
Yeah. That was the same season. Would Tortellini Hot Salma Fanculo?
What?
Well, that's not even the end of the name, bloody hell. Calcio says, would we consider...
Fanculo is a swear word in Italian.
Is it? How do you know that?
I just know. Fanculo.
Would we consider Marco Silva for manager, albeit he was sacked from Everton and kind of faded to obscurity? He's available, has Prem experience, and probably cheap for Levy. There's a reason why he's cheap and he's available, because no one wants him. I wouldn't take him. I think I was always on the fence with Marco Silva after the jobs he did at Hull and Watford. I was like, he's done some good, some bad. He's kind of, I wasn't sure about, like, he did well. He improved Hull, but he still got relegated. Then went to Watford, and then he did so well first half of the season.
Did he come through in Hull halfway through the season?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So, I mean, it was always a difficult task.
It was, but there was one point where it looked like, again, they were going to stay up, and then they didn't quite make it. And then for Watford, he started the season really well, then got linked to Everton, and then things completely fell off the cliff, and he got sacked.
He gets his head turned easily, doesn't he?
And then he went to Everton and had an average and had a kind of average time there, and then got sacked there. So I don't think he'd be the right fit for us, Marco Silva. Another AVB maybe. The id kid. Did you hear the reason Conte didn't come? Because the players told Levy they didn't want Conte, which just shows the mentality of the players.
I don't believe that though. I don't believe that.
I don't want to believe it, but part of me does believe it.
I don't think the players went to Levy.
Not all the players. I'm sure maybe a few were like, hey, he's going to maybe run, man. Just
all these players are on holiday. You think they're calling Daniel Levy saying, don't get Conte?
No, probably not.
You know what I mean? They're probably enjoying their break away from Tottenham, not even thinking about it.
True. They probably didn't care about it, do they?
Exactly. And half of them know they're going anyway.
What's this? Ten Hag was off 3 weeks ago due to his agent. However, things have changed substantially since then.
Who's that from?
JJ Jetset.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What, the old Spurs community ITK?
Tier 1, apparently.
JJ Jetset. I've heard that name since I was about 12 years old.
Love it.
Can't believe he's still going.
He's still going. Maybe it's Levy.
JJ Jetset, Spurs community ITK legend.
Brilliant. Do you reckon it's true?
No.
He used to get. Didn't he used to get things right? I can't remember.
No, not one Spurs community ITK ever came through, I don't think. I used to literally sit there on my computer refreshing the ITK page,
Yeah,
refreshing. It was all such bullshit. I remember Rivaldo's coming. Bullshit, Rivaldo's coming.
What was it? The one with Modric. That was the best one when when I think we had a pre-season game or something, and he said, and I think Spurs he was obviously very famous. So he wanted to leave that summer, and Spurs were and he wanted out. Spurs wanted to keep him, and apparently, at the end of the game, after a pre-season game, the ITA claimed Cranshaw said, Cranshaw turned to Modric and said, "How can you leave this crowd?" And Modric went, "I can't." And then the IGK claimed that was the conversation they had. That was brilliant. Yeah, right. Josh says, "Is Sim slamming a pint?" No, I'm not. Unfortunately, it's a bit of Red Bull. That's all we had in the fridge. So I'm getting around drinking some Red Bull.
There's been a bit of an update from DiMarzio here saying Paratici's first job is to convince Harry Kane to stay for at least another season.
So
I mean, I've heard so many updates. This is his first job. His first job is to offload players. His first job is to make Harry Kane stay. His first job is to get a manager. His first job is to find a new signing.
Convince Conte.
He's got a lot. He's got a lot on his plate, doesn't he?
Basically, he's gonna fail whatever his first job is. Basically, that's what I get the feeling. Okay. Bald Levy says, "Do you think Paratici is giving all aspects on the pitch? Will he be the one to spend the money, or will he make sure with Levy first?" Of course, he'll make sure with Levy first. Everything goes through Levy. Levy will not sign off on anything without his approval. Guarantee you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
DiMarzio says Chelsea are insistent on signing Harry Kane.
Chelsea are not going to get anywhere near Harry Kane.
We insist. We insist we're getting Harry Kane, of course.
Seriously though, what do Chelsea? What do they think they're thinking? They know they're not going to get him.
Yeah, no chance of getting Kane. Absolutely no chance.
I swear, what's his name? Roman Abramovich said he's never going to do business with Tottenham or something. Quite a number of years back.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And that was a big reason why we never got Giroud that summer, or that window, or whatever it was.
Yeah, because they wouldn't deal with us. Actually they would, but they're waiting to sign a replacement. They never got one. Hotspur, someone's tagged us in a tweet. Chelsea splashing 60 million on Hakimi when they already have Reece James, whilst we still haven't replaced Kyle Walker after 5 years. Says it all, really.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Says Chelsea spending 60 million on Hakimi when they already have Reece James, while we haven't replaced Kyle Walker after 5 years.
So true.
Says it all.
So true. I don't really get why they're signing Hakimi, to be honest, with Reece James there.
Squad depth, I guess. Just they have two good enough players battling it out.
We got a tweet here from Sports Brother saying, "How about Christophe Galtier? Won Liga 1 with Lille this year. Low maintenance. Happy with what's available to him." I mean, I thought he was joining Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to that. Maybe it's fallen through, but I'm pretty sure he is joining Nice.
Because Luis Campos apparently came out and said he would be an ideal fit for Everton, and he would definitely work in the Premier League.
Yeah. I would take him, I think, at the moment, with the way our managerial search is going, but I thought Nice was a near done deal, so if that's fallen through, then maybe we should take a second look at him, for sure.
We got a DM here. Le 10 Sport are reporting that PSG wants Zidane and Poch can leave.
Come on, back on. Poch is back on, people. Start believing. No, I don't think
that wouldn't be
so.
bad. The best sporting director in the world and one of the best managers in the world.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be happening.
What makes you say that?
Huh?
What makes you say that?
Because I just don't think... I think Poch is staying. I don't think anyone is going anywhere.
I see. Even the Spurs Express are quoting us now.
Big up Spurs Express. Scott will retweet that.
But yeah, is there anything else? Because anything else you want to get through?
Alex Spurs says... where was it? No one has mentioned Roberto Mancini. What do you think? Nor Ranieri?
Not for me.
Not Mancini? If he was available? Won the league of Man City.
Yeah, he had a lot of money to spend, didn't he?
He's not a bad manager.
He's not a bad manager, but I don't know, just not for me.
Yeah, Italy unbeaten for 3 years.
Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different being an international manager than a domestic manager.
Oh.
And who have they played in those 3 years as well? You never know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We've got a super chat here from Jack Hughes saying, if we imported Silva, I would baldy slap Levy.
All the tweets are flying in now. What's going on here? Toby1 Kenobi with a tweet saying, before the takeover in 2003, Spurs had 25 trophies, Chelsea 11, Man City 11. How things have changed.
Great. Thanks for making my Wednesday afternoon so much better.
Thanks, Toby1 Kenobi. Really appreciate it. Do you think... No, one sec. Read that one already. All right.
Is that it for today?
I think so.
All right, well, that is your Tottenham update for today. We will be clipping up the Romeo Agresti comments from today and uploading them as a separate video. But I thought there were some really, really good snippets from there.
Yeah,
from him
some good
today.
stuff. It was really good stuff. Really appreciate him giving his time and coming on. It was good to hear from him and giving his insight into Paratici and giving his insight into how he thinks he'll be performing at
The
Spurs.
best sporting director,
Exactly.
bar none.
Bar none. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. It made me a bit more excited about Paratici coming to Spurs, but we need a manager first. So
We do need a manager first, but as Romeo said, he's more important than the manager.
That's what he claims. So maybe he's right.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Big up all yourselves. We'll be back with some more content today, and then in the build up to the Euros starting this weekend. I cannot wait. Come and join us for our Croatia live screening, live watch along on Sunday. It is 2 p.m. kickoff. If you want to join, the link to the tickets is in the description below. With every ticket purchase, you get a free drink as well, and you get to join us, you get to drink with us, and you get to be seen on the channel in the live streams, as well as giving your post-match interviews after the game. So looking forward to it. If you want to come and join us, like I said, link is in description below. I'm really looking forward to it. I want to see you all there. So yeah, like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.